If you're a Peanuts fan, Charles Schulz made a character that we all can relate to, and that was Linus. And what was Linus famous for? Well, of course, Linus was famous for his security blanket. Everywhere Linus went, he carried his blanket with him. He dragged it behind him, but he was never without it. Why? Because for Linus, his sense of safety and security lay in the ability of that blanket to be with him at all times. Now, we may not be Linuses in the sense that we drag around blankets, but we all have security blankets. We all have them because we all need security. And that's the promise of knowing that we will be safe and kept from harm. And the question is, what are we needing security blankets for? Well, we are being attacked at all times from all sides and everywhere with things that are making us feel more insecure. Political situations in the world. We see wars breaking out everywhere. We see crime in our streets. We see financial disaster in the markets. And we see everywhere where the underpinning of what we thought was safety is now crumbling. And so we rely on what we consider to be our security blankets. But what are our security blankets? Do you know what yours is? But if we really want to know something that's going to make us secure, then we have to go to the source of what we need in order to understand what security is. What is the depth of our need for security? Well, first and foremost, it's not just physical, it's spiritual. We need a security blanket that will keep us from evil. We need a security blanket that will keep us from all the temptations that we see around us in this world that are pulling us apart and destroying us. We need a security blanket against the devil. And where do we get that? We get that by a belief in the Creator who loved us, who will give us our security, who will give us what we need to feel safe. And we know that He will hold us in the palm of His hand, and He won't really let anything hurt us. Oh yes, we'll have crosses in our life, we'll have disappointments in our life, we'll have things that don't go right. But the point is that that's part of living. And it's up to us to make the choice of how we're going to use these things for the betterment, to make us stronger, to make us more secure. We have to go to the God who created us and know that He will lead us if we're willing to follow Him. But that's a choice. And we can either accept that choice to follow Him, or we can reject Him. It's up to you. It's up to me to say yes to Him and no to all the temptations that are around us. And our security will only be complete when we know that we have given all to the God who created us. And when we give up all, we think we will have nothing. But when we give up all, we will have everything. Because it's not more that is needed in our life, it's less. And when we give up things, we are allowing ourselves to be free. Or we get so possessed by possessions. We get so possessed maybe by other people. We get possessed by our desires and so-called needs and wants. And there's a difference between a need and a want. A need is something that we absolutely have to have. A want is something that we just would like to have, even though it isn't essential to our lives. And so therefore, what we need to do is to take an examination of ourselves and look and ask ourselves, where is my security? What am I looking for to make me safe? And what can I do to become more secure? And am I willing to become less to me and more to Him? And when I do that, my security will be fulfilled and guaranteed.